All right, we crashed earlier, but we're back up and running now. Live drum practice number 29. New song, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com. That helps support the channel and lets us know what songs you guys want and blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff. Blah, blah, blah. It's a Saturday night, and I'm ready to get going. And my stream crashed, so it always gets my brain thinking, like, why'd you crash? Can I trust you? Become a member, help support us. We love to write sheet music, and I like to do these videos. And I was working on this song for a student and realized it's one of those songs that almost all the students request, so it's a good one for me to practice as a teacher, but it's one that I can never get up to full speed. It's one that I show a student, and I'm like, all right, now you go. Here's the general idea of it, then you work on it. And, well, I want to do a video for him anyway, so it makes sense for me to tackle it on my own as well. So become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com. Sheet music if you need it. Otherwise, you can just help support us and, you know, yeah. Oh, I got to check one thing on this. So far, the streams, well, we'll just have to live. Okay. This song is 118 at full tempo, but we're going to tackle it like at 40 BPM and kind of get the mechanics down of how to play this correctly. And yeah, we'll go from there. So in the beginning, you have this flam, 1 E and So 1 E and Now that I can do, and actually oftentimes when I teach it to a student, I'm playing it pretty sloppy like that. And I give myself a little grace, right? Day one, you can be a little sloppy. You can learn how to get it. You can work on understanding the mechanics, I think is what I'm trying to say. Now on 2 though, at the same time. See, now the funny thing is I don't have my chat window up on this second stream. And so I don't know what that person said. So we're going to try and see if I can get that up and running. Sorry, we had some last minute crash. A last minute crash. All right, so I cannot get that chat window up. So if you do want to say anything to me, make sure you go to the shorts version and put them in there. I can see that chat. I can't see our horizontal stream. So sometimes technology doesn't work, and worst case scenario, I'll get to the chat at the end. Yep, that is what it is. Okay, 1 E and 2 E and so that 2 of that foot hi-hat on that second. So 1 E and 2 is I can't do that well. I can't do that on time. In time. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3. Oh, see, now I'm not doing it. I'm not closing that. So just really have to get that lined up with that flam. Let that flam kind of guide you. 1 E and 2. So that's kind of like one exercise I was thinking about as I was getting ready to do this stream. I like looked at this and I'm like, man, Dave Grohl, good drummer. I don't want to make an ass of myself. But at the same time, it's like these videos are made to be like, hey, shit, this took me 5 days to learn. These are the things I learned about it. This is the skill set you need to do it. And you go from there. So it's okay if these are bad. That's what I tell myself. So we got to get that. Let's see how fast 40 BPM is. 1 E and 2 E and. So we're actually just going to try to get 1 E and 2. 1 E and 2. And that's one way we're going to tackle learning these mechanics. 1 E and 2 and 1 E and 2. E and 2, 1 E and 2, and 1 E and 2. Here, I'm pushing that rhythm just a little bit. And I can't speak and click for some reason. I might be a little tired on this Saturday night. I'm kind of pushing myself to get 2 of these done a day, and that's okay. It'll be a good drum practice. It just may not be a lot of talking. 1 E and 2 and 1 E and 2 and 1 E and 2 and okay. I think that's going to help. I think we're going to have to just do that at every tempo. The other idea is doing hands and feet separately. So that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, but I'm going to do the foot hi-hat on top of that. I think so. So we can kind of lock in that idea that these are always playing together. So 1 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's not that bad, and I think we'll be able to get that to a faster tempo than we will the other idea that we were just doing. So, all right, we're going to do it this way. Let's go 44, because I feel like 40 might be a little too slow for just playing eighth notes. 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and also, I think there's a little bit of grace I try to give myself, especially if I'm not feeling it right now, which is legit and fine. You don't have to feel every practice. They don't always have to be the best frickin' practice you've ever had. Sometimes it's just practice. Which makes it harder, like, when I'm trying to do these lives, right? Like, it's just practice. I'm just trying to do my best. I'm trying to show up, and sometimes I suck. Play through that. You will get better. Totally forgot my train of thought, and that's okay as well. All right. So let's see if 44, what I want to do is go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that 44. I don't know if I'll be able to hear where those beats land. But I think like this practice, that practice. So hands with left foot, we'll call it. So here's our regiment, right, to get this up to speed. And this is only the first measure. But this idea shows up enough in the song. It's a good idea to work on, and it'll probably help us with the other ideas in the song. Hands, feet, 44 BPM, not terrible. And then we're going to go to just the 1 E and just do that. Those are the three ideas I have for practice for right now. Cool. All right, let's see if I can feel where those 16th notes go. So actually the one with the foot hi-hat's going to be easy. 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 2. Okay, I knew that was gonna be a problem to come back in on 1. 1 E and 2 E and. Okay, so I need to count this like 5 or 6 times in a row before I try to do this with the metronome. But I like this idea, right? 1 E and 2 E and. E and also trying to work on good technique for your foot will help you get this up to speed quicker, which is what I'm telling myself. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and all right. Kind of wondering if we need to do this at 40. You know, first time through the song, you're going to ask some questions like, how fast should I be playing this? Slow. How slow? Very. E and 3 E and 4 and and 2E and 3E and let me just check to make sure this other one's working fine. We'll just listen to this gorgeous metronome for a sec. And 4 and 1E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and E and 2E and 3E and E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3 1E and 2E and 3E and I lost that. So I'm trying to actually like give my foot, and I know like if you're a drummer that's halfway decent, you probably don't need to think through these things that I'm thinking through. I'm drummer adjacent. Like I've taught drums for quite a few years. It doesn't mean I'm good, right? Especially like having to play something exact. It's really where I struggle. I'm trying to come up with a different foot technique idea than just holding my leg up here the whole time, because I'm gonna get tired really quickly. I'm going So I'm trying to do like a combination of just giving myself just a little bit of a rest. So if we got 1E and 2E and 3. Now again, as soon as you get this up to like 118, which is full speed, I'm not gonna be able to think. I'm not gonna have to think through those things because it's gonna be so fast and over by the time I put my foot down that there's gonna be no point. But things I need to think about. All right, let's do a couple more of these. Let's see if I can get this. And, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and and 2E and 3E and 4 and so if we get nothing else accomplished, we kind of understand where those kicks go now, right? 1E and 2E and cool. All right, let's go. We're gonna go back to the other idea. We're gonna go up to 46, and we're just gonna try to get that 1E and a 2, 1E and a 2. And 1E and 2. 1E and 2. Okay, so let's see if we can do that whole measure now. I know it's still kind of slow. Yeah, let's just try it. 2E and 3E and 4 and. E and 2E and 3E and 4 and. So what gets me is the reason why I wanted to run through that whole measure. lifting that foot back up afterwards, right? These are the small things that, like, if you spent a lot of time on drums, it's not going to throw you off. But even, like, if this is your fourth or fifth song a student learns or I'm kind of taking serious, you need to think through all these different mechanics that you don't have a good foundation for. And that's really what these videos are about right now, because I'm not good enough. 1 E and 2 E and 3. So I need to practice that just slower. Yeah, that's tough. E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and all right. I don't have an idea, but we're going to try it at 46 with hands, then we're going to go feet, then we're going to go both together. Just kind of the way we've done everything so far. 1 and 2 and... All right, I got to remember my rules. I'm going to do hands and foot. 1 and 2 and... and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and... There we go. One and 2 and 3 and 4. There's no hi-hat there. Okay, let's try it. Feet and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and I don't know if I can put this together. So a lot of my brain power has to go to lifting up that foot hi-hat on the kick beat. 1 E and 2, or putting my foot down. Now, see, I'm second guessing myself all of a sudden. Yeah, probably to play this right with the intention that they had, right? Which is also where tab lacks sometimes, and after you learn it, listen to the music, you're like, oh, that's what he was doing. He probably isn't lifting that foot hi-hat up the way that I am right away. I'm doing that out of like necessity because it's hard for me to keep that down. So instead, it should probably be played like 1. Now, this is me being hypercritical, so that's what you get on Saturday nights when you're overly caffeinated. That makes way more sense. Now, it's not the way that I was just working on that. So the big difference is I was going 1 E and blam E, right? And there's not that big of a difference, but it's probably not how a drummer would think about it. He would more think about it like, oh, I put my foot down, and right before I want to hit that again, I'm going to open that up. So if you're just joining, the horizontal stream has no chat. The vertical stream has a chat. If you want to chat, go to the vertical stream. Also, this is a hard song. hard for me. Because now, all of a sudden, putting that hi-hat open in the right spot, I was putting it in the right spot, but moving my left foot, that threw off my rhythm. All right. We can practice this. All right. We're going to go back to 42 or something like that, BPM. This is the fun part of the live where you guys are just going to watch me struggle and like go in these little circles. Which anytime that I start a new song, it's kind of like I got to come up with a plan almost. So like, how am I going to attack learning this? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. All right, so I'm going to try to adhere to that left foot opening the right spot. It seems like something very small to be focused on and probably even wasting more time talking about it right now than it's worth. It's kind of how I roll, though. Those little details, I feel like, will make you a good drummer. Or if I cheat them all the time, all I'm going to do is learn how to play this bad. I'm going to try to do just hands. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, that's easy for me to do. It also is very natural with where I open that. It just happens to be where I open that is right after where I hit that kick. So let's do a couple of those with just feet. And every time I put it together, it's going to be this sloppy, nuanced version of what it's supposed to be until like 4 days from now when it finally clicks. And you're like, oh, shit, he doesn't totally suck. He just kind of can't play drums right now. And 4 and 1E and 2E, 3E, 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and E and 3E and 4 and E and 2E and 1E and 2E and now, if I was very confident in this song, probably what I'll end up doing tomorrow is I'd start putting those open hi-hats in when I'm just playing feet. That's going to really help me hear where it has to go. Shit, that's a good idea. Probably should do that. I'm going to be stubborn for like 5 minutes, though, and not do it. One E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and so trying not to count it and still hit those 16th notes. I get a little sloppy, as you could probably hear, but that's okay. I'm debating if I should go and slow it down. Let's try it. Let's try this all together. Gonna really kind of get that left foot to behave. We'll see. So that was a disaster, a complete and utter disaster, which is fine. I keep on saying that's fine, and I do believe that, but it's kind of funny where I'm like, that's fine. That's totally fine. It's fine that sucked. And 2, I just not able to think this through as much as I need to. That's what kills me, having to open my foot. And you guys should just see I'm struggling. And, just keep powering through. That's what tonight's going to be, a power through session. Okay. We just have to refigure this out. So let's go to 36. And I have a reason for this. We're going to start on 2. We're just going to try to get 2E and down. Which, again, if you look at it, is kind of what happens over and over again. So we got 2E and 2E and 2E and All right, I don't think that's good. 2E and 2E and 2E. And 2E and 2E and all right. I am at a little bit of a loss of how to break this down for myself. Okay, so maybe that's it. So we got 2E and 2E and 2. So, all right. We were getting a rhythm going finally. E and 3E and I don't know if this is going to change anything, but I'm going to highlight this whole. I'm so glad I put day 1 on this. I also should have put watch me struggle, because that's really where we're at right now. And you kind of just have to embrace the struggle and keep going. Right now it'd be very nice and very easy for me to just push stop and then delete. But, you know, day 1. It'll only get better from here. So I just need to work that out in my brain where I get comfortable. 1E and 2E. All right, this is the idea. This is my third and final maybe idea. So we're going to go 1E and 2E and 1E and we're going to see if that helps. Something that just jogs my brain enough where I can get the foot mechanics down and then add everything else on top. 1E and 2E and now that was good. Let's do it again. So we got 1. It's 2. I'll try to count it as 2. 2E 3E 2E 3E 2E. Okay, now, so that's what's missing, right? We're actually should be going, let's hear my brain, 2E and 3E and that foot has to lift. 1E and 2E and 2E, 2E and 3E and 2E and 3E and that is how we're going to solve this. Step 1. 2E and 3E and okay, and then I'm coming up with a plan. Saturday night, I'm a little slow. Now we're going to do feet only. It'd be 1E and 2E and going to try to count it from 2 E and 3E and 2E and 3E and then we'd go back to 1 2 E and 2E and 3E and 2E and so I'm hoping those two things, those two ideas, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not baking a cake, but I'm laying a foundation. Like I need to have an understanding of what my feet are doing clearly on this song because it's throwing me off to this point. We're like 30 minutes in and I've just gone in a circle. And sometimes that's practice. Sometimes like you could easily like do the YouTube practice where you're like, shit, how do you play that? And you watch 25 videos of somebody else. The reality is sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's, hey, let's figure this out. A lot of it has to do with just keeping this foot, the left foot, which is, of all the appendages, probably the weakest. Right hand, pretty good. Right foot, okay. Left hand, not as good. Left foot, terrible. So anytime that we can work on a song that's going to help us understand that at a higher level, awesome. Do it. Do it live, maybe not the best idea. You definitely don't want to watch people struggle. Or people to watch you struggle. All right. So 2 different ideas. We got 1 E from beat 2. 2 E and 3 E and 2 E and 3 E and idea number 2 that we're gonna do. And 36 is gonna be so slow. It's probably gonna be like 1 E and 2 E and. Let's hear. 2 E and 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and or if you counted it right, 2 E and 3 E and E and 3 E and 2. Sometimes I feel like this is like a great puzzle that you guys all watch me put together, and you're hoping at some point I'll figure out the puzzle. It's kind of how I feel right now. It's like, man, that's part of it. That's that's the hands, that's the feet. Does it go together? And why are you playing this song at 36 BPM? Those are the thoughts that go through my head at sometimes. All right, so hopefully I'm teaching myself the mechanics. 1, 2 E and 3 E and better already. 2 E, 2 E and 3 E and we're just gonna have to go slow. I'm gonna try to put the whole measure together because that might help me get a little bit of a break in there. It might make me just play even crappier than I am right now. And 1 E and 2 E and yeah, I just can't. I can't figure that out. I mean, I can figure it out. It's the same problem that I had in Head Over Heels, and you kind of could see me struggle for a while. When any of the hi-hat has to be more involved, and that left foot's leading. All right, you've heard me talk enough about it. We're just going to ignore this all and just do it for a while and figure out how to stumble upon it again. 2 E and 2 E. And 3 E and see, now I'm going back to that old habit of open that hi-hat up right away. All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're gonna work on this beat. We're work on this beat for 10-15 minutes, and then we're gonna come back to this one. Like I said, it's day 1. It can only get better from here. It would probably be really super hard for it to get worse than what it just was. So that's some really good news. All right, so what's going on in this beat that I can maybe play? We got 1 E and 2 and 3 E and. Okay, we'll actually spend some time on this. So it's 1 E and and then 2 E and . 2 That's going to be hard for me to do, just those fast kicks at 118. So we're just going to have to work on our technique slowly and surely. Is what I'll end up doing. It's hard to do that slow for me, and it's something to work on as well. This song's showing you a lot of things that I need to work on. 3E and 4 and. So we got 1E and 2E and 3E and. Minus my little foot hi-hat close there. So I'm thinking 36 is going to be a little too slow. Let's try 44 and just see what that actually sounds like. Now, here's where I'm at mentally, maybe close to breaking. That measure before, I think I knew that was going to be shit. It kind of was shit. So playing this beat might not cheer me up, but be like, okay, get a little bit of that confidence back that you need, or maybe even just feel like you're progressing. Because sometimes when you spend 30 minutes on something, you don't feel like you got anywhere at all. That's irritating. That's frustrating. That's not necessarily a place you want to be. So it's always good to get a confidence booster back, or just like, I don't think I'm going to end practice. I'm going to be a little stubborn, which I usually am, and hit that first measure again before I'm done. But get this up to where you're kind of comfortable and like, oh, okay, all right, I'm getting a groove again. Because what we played before, I was not able to get a groove going at all. I wasn't able to struggling to get a thought on that. Which again, I've said this 100 times. I'm going to say 100 more. It shows you where your weaknesses are. It shows you what you need to work on. Work on parts that you can't play right away. I can play. I have a video coming up pretty soon that I have to actually play that in. It's a popular beat, but I can play that. I can almost play that in time. Not consistently, but I can play it in time. All right. We'll kind of click through this like we usually do. 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and. One E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 3E and Okay. So again, a lot of my issues come from my foot and just not being able to do that well. Songs will resolve that. Probably practicing technique on its own would help get there a little quicker. 1E and 2. 1E and 2E and. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Let's get half that down. 1E and 2E and 1E and. 2E and 1E and 2E and and 2E and there's some ugliness in there, but happens. So kind of was trying to just, again, get that idea of that groove down and be consistent. And those are the things that we're aiming for tonight. And for the microphone to not fall over. Might be asking a little too much. So on this next one, let's go 3E and 4 and. 3E and 3E 3 E and a 4 and 3 E and up. 3 E and a 4 and 3 E and a 4 and 3 E and really okay. You don't need to hear what I'm thinking about with my technique. 3 4 and 3 E and a 4 and 3 E and a 4 and 3 E and a 4. And a 4. Three E and a 4 and 3 E and a 4 and I love how my left foot was like, hey, I want to be included in this. You could just like ignore me, but I want to try to play a beat. Four and 3 and a 4 and so you can kind of hear what I'm trying to do, right? Train the leg on 3 and a 4 and 3 and a 4 and. But my problem is by counting that way over and over again, I don't hear 3 E and a 4 and. I just don't hear that E in there. 3 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. So it's coming. It's coming. I'm starting to get an idea of what's going on versus just flailing about. All right, so let's do that again. I got to count that E when I do just the feet, otherwise it doesn't come together. 3 E and a 4 and 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 try to put that measure together. It's probably not going to be great, and that's going to be okay. 1 E and a 2. Ah. One E and a 2, a 3 E and a 4, and 1 E and a 2, a 3 E and a 4. You can just hear that rushing on. I think it's 3. There we go. One E and a 2. So let's see if 44 is close to that. E and a 2 E and a 3 E. Around there. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. And 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 100 times I've said this, but clicking that out, it helps kind of understanding like the layout of your feet and everything that's going on. For you guys just joining, you missed 30 minutes of me just being terrible on drums. So it's not much better now, but before it was really bad. It's hearing that groove, hearing where those 16th notes land, so you don't have to think so hard. It's getting good foot technique, so it's like 1 E and a 2, a 3 E and a 4, and 1 E and a 2. And then keeping it clean. It's easy to rush those 16th notes. It's easy to have bad technique. And a 3. 1 E and a 2. A 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and okay, let's speed this up. We'll go to 48. Again, full speed's 118. For day one, we're pretty far away from being able to play this at full speed. Just give you a heads up. Probably can actually take your foot off that hi-hat as well, 'cause we're really not closing that the entire time. Okay, let's hear it 48. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a It's so easy to rush a tempo that's this slow. And again, though, if you can't play at 48, I ain't going to play it at full speed. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and let's go 52. Feel like we're connecting some dots, making some progress. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and clearly I'm a little bit farther away from my hi-hat. Something's throwing me off there. It could just be bad. Just could be me playing bad. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. And a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and just trying to give my foot a little rest on beat 2, and that screws me up when I do it. Okay. None of those are perfect. We're going to still just speed it up little by little. And then knowing that we're going to fix it in the next day or two. Sometimes that's just what you have to do. So, right away, that's one thing I just need to work on. A 3. 2 E and 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 a 3. I've said it 100 times, and I've said 100 times, 100 times. It's getting the mechanics down. It's understanding what your feet and hands have to do, and all of a sudden, like, I can't play this probably in time yet, and I can't play it with a metronome at full speed, but I got the idea. I've lost it. So a lot of it for me is that 2 and a 3. 2 E and a 3. If you're watching this, it might be annoying to have to play that 100 times. If that's what you need to do right now in practice, do it. Whatever you don't hear well, and when I say hear, it's like and then can you replicate that on the drum set, right? It's easy to go 1, a 2, 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4, and it's much harder to go 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4, and so again, where I heard sloppiness is on the 3. So it's 2 E and a 3. Now, I can point out my own flaws rather quickly. I notice that I do this a lot when I play. So I'm going 2 E and then that little bit of movement is enough to throw my rhythm off. So I have to sit here and go, okay, my guy is what I call myself sometimes. My guy, don't move. Also watch that hi-hat. Get that countdown. It doesn't hurt to practice that over and over again. Counting out loud and playing something only makes you a better drummer. Sorry, I'm in a teacher mode there, not hanging out and jamming mode. But oftentimes it's so true. If you spend enough time counting it, you'll never have to count again. Try not to rush it like I am. 1 and a 2, a 3 and a 4 and. All right, let's see what we can do at 56. And a 4, and 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4 and 1. and a 4 and 1. So you just hear me slaughtering that metronome, and not in a good way. So close, and then I screw up. All right, let's go up to 60. It's kind of one of those practices where nothing has to be perfect yet. I laugh because maybe more of those end up that way than I plan. It's getting the idea down, hearing at faster tempos, getting the legs to do what you want, the mechanics to do what you want. That's kind of where you can be sometimes with practice. And then, 5 or 6 practices down the road, it should be perfecting it. Right now, it's just like, whoosh. Let's try to learn how to play this. 3 and a 4 and a 2. 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4 and. So I must be drifting this way because I keep on missing that hi-hat after like 4 or 5 rounds. Meep. If I was in lessons, I'd say meep because I just screwed up. This is an okay thing to do during a practice. I wouldn't say I'm frustrated, but actually, I missed the whole week of playing drums. I taught a couple lessons, and that's about it. Allergies were just atrocious in Western Michigan. And so I'm rusty. And this is a song that's above my skill set. So, I think I should be able to play anything and quickly, but that's not the case. So it's okay to be a little bit annoyed with myself. And if you're watching this, it's okay to be a little annoyed with me too. But playing without metronome, I'm like, okay, what's it going to sound like when it goes faster? Can I play the idea of it? And then can I go back to 60 and try to line up with the metronome and try to clean that stuff up? Now, let's see if I can do that from 2E and a 3. 2E and a 3. And try to get that slow tempo. Now, can I actually go 2E and 3E end? That's enough to get me. 2E and 3E end. So I know, like, tomorrow or Monday when tomorrow's Sunday, yeah. Tomorrow or Monday when I practice next, it's going to be probably slowing it down to 40 BPM and going 2E and 3E and 2E and. Because just getting that da da da. Also, while your high or your snare is going. And then coming back with again, separately, none of that stuff is hard. I'm sure anyone watching can do that. Probably better than I can. All right. So let's do a couple more of those. So we got 2E and 3E and 2E and 3. Okay, now let's try to put more of that in. So 2E and 3E and is what I'm gonna have to do to play this long term. I give that little bit of a double in there. 1E and 1E and 2E and 1E and. Got to get a little quicker on that. Also, my leg might fall off. It might be how out of shape I am. Period. And on drums. And 4 and 1E and. And then stuff starts clicking. I don't think I'll be able to play it fast for a while. Stuff is clicking at 60 BPM. Like, think about the set of technique you have. I think about it singing note. I'm going to calm down. I think about it like I'm singing notes. I can sing in this range halfway decent. As I start to go higher into that range, I need a different technique. I need to utilize a different technique. Saturdays may just be a day where we never chat because my brain isn't working that good. So as I go up to faster tempos, it's going to be hard for me to do because I don't have the right technique for it. That technique will get developed in time. When we're on live drum practice number 415, then we'll be good. All right, let's go to 64. Try to jump right in. If it's not clicking at that tempo, I'll try to go 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, and I know my weakest spot probably is 2, a 3, and up. It's getting that tight 3. Getting that beat on 3 is just difficult for me. Now, the funny thing is, as soon as I get that, it's then getting the E of that next one. 2, 2E and 3E. 2E and 3E. Okay, and so on and so forth. All right, 64, we'll do some clicking. A 3E and a 4 and 1E and a 2. Okay, so way rushed, right? Which is fine. Means I can play it. I just got to learn how to play it in time. funny. Something's going on. I could obviously watch the tape back. I feel like proportionally, maybe I need to move to the hi-hat just a little bit, but not to the effect that I keep on missing it like I am. And I do love it when I move like an eighth of an inch. But sometimes an eighth of an inch is a lot. Okay. All right. Quick stretch. If anyone's watching, is this helping? I'm going to keep doing it regardless, but it's good to get some feedback. Though I probably won't change anything if I do get that feedback. What is everyone else doing on their Saturday night as I take a minute to stretch and just get this out? By the way, if you're on the horizontal stream, I can't see the chats. It crashed right before I went live, which is always a great feeling, right? You're like, you push the go live button and it just goes poof. And you're like, shit, now I have to like retool my brain, get it up and running again, and not let that be a detriment to me. That's my excuse. Okay. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Let's do a couple without metronome. I don't care for how that kick and 1. So the last beat of the measure into the first beat. 1, a 2. And 1, a 2. So there's something right there I'm going to have to work on fixing, just getting that clean. I get a little bit of a bounce, and it just sounds sloppy. A 2 and 3, 3 and a 4, and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and a 4. And 1, a 2, a 3 E and a 4, and 1. We're going to do a couple at 64, and then we're going to review that intro part, which I was pretty bad at a minute ago or 30 minutes ago, and just do our best to kind of get some of those concepts, kind of talking to myself more than anybody else. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, and... Sorry if you're commenting on that chat. I can't see it, my guy. Sorry. The horizontal one crashed right before I started. So if you comment on the vertical one, I can see you. So let's just try this again. We're an hour and 11 minutes in. It's totally fine. Good practice. Really need to do some stretching. So this part, I say we just go so slow. It's almost backwards. And just really try to get... Actually, if I can do things separate, that would be a nice ambition again. 1. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I find it funny, and funny is not the right word, but I find it interesting. Like, there's no problem in telling my leg when to open up at that point, right? It's very easy to want to know where to open up. Same thing when I do the kicks. It knows when to do it. It's all of a sudden when you put both together where my brain's like, no, bro, I can't comprehend exactly what you're trying to do. All that said, 30 might be too slow, but we'll see what happens. E and 3, E and 4, and 1, E and 2, E and 4, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so if you, like me, are trying to learn this part and are terrible at this intro, which I am, here's step number 1. We're figuring this out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One and 2 and 3 and 4. Step 1. Teach your hands what you want. You have a left foot involved. You're getting that going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, playing that is pretty easy for me. As soon as we add everything else, I'm screwed. But that's how we have to do it. At first, I am just going to do feet. What I'd really like to do is try to get that open hi-hat in. It's much like juggling. You've never seen me juggle on this channel before because I don't know how to. But that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing here with my left foot and right foot. It feels like I'm walking. Sorry, I can't see the chat on the horizontal stream, my guy. So if you want to chat, please chat on the vertical, unless I already said that, the short stream. Same channel and everything. The vertical or the horizontal crashed right before I went live, and that's the 500th time I said that, so I apologize. All right, so 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and then really, it sounds like it should be easy, but it'd be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. It's not. It's not for me anyway. All right. See if we can fake our way through this. E and 4 and 1 E and 2 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and I can't see your first name, Productions, but yes, this is a format. Maybe it's not a format. You're going to have to tell me. It's a format for us. Quick little backstory. Give me a little pause. Maybe a chance to stretch again. Owned a music studio for like 12 years. Got a little burnt out from teaching one-on-one lessons. At a time, we had like 13 kid bands we were working with, and I was teaching anywhere from 60 to 70 lessons a week, and I was just like, I need to stop doing this so much. And what I was always jealous of with the kids is they had a lot of time to practice. I had more lessons to teach. And so we kind of like revamped the studio. I had a great guy who writes phenomenal sheet music and kind of wrapped a business around it of saying, hey, instead of me teaching one lesson, let me try to do these online. Now, I have a lot of growth areas. We did a guitar live today, and it was okay. A little rusty. And drums are probably one of my worst instruments. But I like this. I like the format. I like it when you guys chime in. I like when you guys give me feedback. I don't even care if it's bad feedback. I don't care if it's you suck. No. Not too many of those have happened yet. I do find it funny. Drummers have been super supportive, like to the fact of like, bro, you can get this. Bro, you can do that. I can't say that any other instrument has been negative per se, but like, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, this is the format that we're doing. This is number 29 on drums, and I think by the time we get to 75, we're going to be in pretty good shape and be able to get through these songs quicker. Yeah, and it's great for me because I still teach a little bit part-time now, so I can like jump into a lesson and be like, hey, these are the 7 ways to get here really quick, or I can be like, hey, learn this video. So yeah, that is the format. Bro, 60, 70 lessons a week is why I burnt out. Um, it was awesome and hell at the same time. Um, so yeah, it, it was quite a while ago. I One of my biggest mistakes, and it all just does take time. Do you play, man? Do you play drums or anything? Um, when I was teaching 67, 70 lessons a week, where I kicked myself is not raising rates. Instead, what I thought of this expanding, and I should have thought of this expanding. I was like, I loved what we were doing, and we had kids playing in bands. And like I said, I think at the peak, we had 10 to 12 kid bands, and we'd play events around town. The problem was it became my life. I should have raised rates quite a bit. We were doing stuff that nobody else in town was doing. Um, so yeah, I just burnt myself out. And also it's like, we started doing videos and all this cool stuff. And I was like, man, if I spend 20 hours in your video project, I would much rather spend 20 hours on this song. And that's probably what it's going to take me. It's probably going to take me 10 of these. But I'd rather learn this song. I'd rather spend my time doing that than your guys' video project. And that's kind of where my heart just kind of stopped. I don't know, stop being I always say you have to have the heart of a teacher, and I still have that. It's easy for me to do it. I couldn't make it my career anymore. So I fell in love with practicing, which is a funny thing to say at 40, 41, because like I owned the studio for quite a few years, and I did not love practicing. I thought being wrapped around music all the time would be like enough to like, shoot, I'm doing music every single day. I'm always surrounded by it. You get stuck doing a lot of administrative BS though. Dude, Saturdays I can't talk. Oh man, awesome. You guys made a little studio box for your drums? What songs are you working on? Dude, and you can see like, bro, I taught drums at a decent level around town. Like it'd be embarrassing how bad I am in some instruments. And I always said to the parents too, it's like, I'm good enough to tell your kid what they need to work on. And, you know, I would actually have a drummer at the studio who I'd graduate kids to. So when they got really, really good, or I wanted to work on stuff that was just out of my wheelhouse, I'd be like, hey, you're going to go work with Zach. Zach's a way better drummer than I am. He's got the best hands I've ever seen. His feet technique's awesome. These are the things you need to work on. So I think there was some embarrassment though too. And also like, I think thinking you have to be perfect as a teacher, which I think is a big misnomer. I think as a musician too, we think that like, oh man, if I'm going to do these videos, I need to be good. And I think the big issue is any drummer that we've seen be really good is only good because he spent 20 hours on this song. So I'm just choosing to do this live. But bro, same as me, just keep practicing, keep doing your stuff. If you have questions, I'd love to help you out. If you have songs you want to learn, I'd love to do these lives. John, who does all of our sheet music, has a list. He's pretty full with the guy who I sold the music studio to. We still write music for him quite a bit, and I teach through him as well. So we keep pretty busy with that. But if there's a certain song and we have the time, I'd gladly write it out for you. Because I know you're going to be engaged and watch and ask good questions. Pop punk songs, you know, like some Blink and Sum 41. Yeah. Dude, speed and endurance. Dude, okay, you see my technique is trash as well, right? And so the drummer, Zach, who plays in my band as well, and I do have some Blink 182. Sorry, like I said, I can't talk today. I have some Blink 182 as well. I don't think it's anything fast, though, or even some Green Day. One good exercise that we might want to go over, but okay, sorry, I can tell my story about Zach. He's kind of like coached me over and over again throughout even like when I was teaching drum lessons at the studio, Zach worked for me as well. And I'd be like, okay, what would you do in this situation? Or how would you play this? And how would you do this thing? And he's like the kindest, gentlest spirit in the world and be like, okay, do this. And like, he coached me a little bit. I'd go work on stuff. He just has a passion for it and whatnot. I think I had a point, but I think I might have lost it. Oh, speed and endurance. So like when I sold my studio and started working on drums, Zach is like, all right, heal up, you know, you're doing this over and over again. That's what you have to do to get speed. Literally like last month, he goes, I think it might be different. I think I might do this instead. I'm like, bro, I can't change. I can't change what I'm working on speed-wise now. I'm going to have to commit to this technique versus like starting over and just getting a whole new idea down. I'm like, I'm not ready for that. Um, and you may already know these ideas, but one idea that he gave me before he switched technique on me, and I kind of like need to like do what I did on this first one, where I filmed him a lot. I watched how his leg was moving. I then copy it. Then I'd show him it, and I'd get feedback from him. One exercise is, especially on these songs that you need speed for, is your legs kind of lifted a little bit, and so you can kind of see it there. I'm exaggerating a little bit just so you can get a better idea of it. But your heel is kind of up, right? And so you're bouncing it a lot. I see a lot of students, and I don't pick on this in students right away because I know they can't fix it, but they'll bury. And I just think that's an interesting concept when they bury the drums, they bury the beater, which like I did too. I did for years. But it's funny because we don't think about this. Like we would never play this drum like that, right? We'd never play snare and bury that. So I find it interesting that and there's certain songs that we do bury the beater. But think about it. If we're trying to play fast, we want the beater to come right back to us so we can send it again. And just even doing that, I'm like, for me, I'm pretty shit, as you could see. But maybe like a 50 BPM and you're doing triplets, triplet. Oh, I can't even do it. Triplet, 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 one. Like that's something I need to do over and over again. I've been kind of song-based just because it's good for our website. But I think, after 6 or 7 months of songs, I'm going to be like, all right, it's time to work on just technique for 3 or 4 months. I try to do that on guitar a little bit more. All right. So that gave me good questions, by the way. I got Anzuka Productions, and I might have be missing a letter. Reading's hard for me. All right, so putting that together, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. All right, that's the idea. I can play that slow. I probably can't play that in time. 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Okay, so the thing that I'm excited about, before I wasn't able to keep that hi-hat closed until I had to open it again. I was just like instinctively doing something terrible. So now I can do it, but I can't play at 30 BPM, which is slow, but it might also be the fact that I just can't play. And and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and I always start this wrong. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. So okay, those are the right mechanics. Finally, like that's the right way to do that. It's hard for me to do, as you can hear. And 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. 2 E and and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. So man, that is just difficult for me to do. All right, it's one of those things though. I was doing this on guitar the other day where it's like I cannot play in time, I cannot play it in time, but I got the idea of it down and that kind of proves it. It's when I'm trying to be, and the goal is to be a really tight drummer, tight musician, right? You don't want to be that guy who has to do 700 takes in a track, which I've been that guy before. I've done 800 takes in a track before. And I got to try to keep that foot from being like just wherever it wants to go. So it's just going to take some time. We're going to keep going up to speed, and we'll try to do that hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet. And, you know, it's only been an hour and a half, which is pretty good. Which I'm probably pushing this a little farther than I want to, but sometimes, you know, you're here. I'm here. We're hanging out. I might as well keep practicing. And it's 12 o'clock. What else am I going to do right now? Don't really have a response to that. 2E and 3E and so hands. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and now 1E and 2E and E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and all right, so that wasn't in time at all. But again, it's the right idea. I'm kind of like getting that flow down. 2E and 3E and 4 and all right. Whew. There's gonna be some like deep stretching tonight, is all I'm gonna say. So hands and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and and 3E and 4 and 4, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and if I could only do that in time. That's the idea. And 2E and 3E and 4 and I might have played that kick drum wrong. Or not the kick drum. Might have opened that hi-hat too quickly. All right, we're going to do a couple at 40, and then I'm just going to call it a night. That is a good, hard practice. Hard earned. So hold your hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One E and 2E and 3E and 4 and it's a lot of mental work. I am getting there, man. Sometimes you have to like, you have to let it like seep in, right? You can't just, well, no, I mean, you can just brute force it, as you kind of see on some songs I'm sure you're working on as well. Um, okay, good. I don't feel as bad. Dude, I've taught that, here's my advantage. I've taught the song a ton and like literally been like, all right, well, here's what they're doing. You know, I'd show that to a kid. You know, I can fake that one-y and even that, you know, I can get that idea down. It's dude, 100% my left foot. Actually, it's my feet. My feet in general is what turns my hand to mush on this one. Oftentimes for students, you can be like, here's the idea, and they get really good at like reading these ideas, but not refining anything. And that's my big issue is like playing with the click, playing consistently, refining stuff. But yeah, it'll get there. It'll get there in time. Good checking you out, bro. I'd love to see anything that you're working on or any questions that you have. Clearly, you might be showing me a thing or two in drums because I have some work to do, but we will get there. I'll